Alrighty folks, and welcome. This is Hitmanvondoom, and this is going to be something different. Now, there's only two books that I could pick up on a consistent basis that I actually have a subscription to, and one of them is Scarlet Spider. Yep, this one and Batman and Robin is the only two things that I really have a subscription to. Everything else I kind of float around on, but there's been about 5 issues thus far, and I thought I would do maybe a review. Well, this is probably going to be like a legitimate review, but I guess I'm going to call this video, this is going to be the state of the Scarlet Spider, kind of like a State of the Union. The state of the Scarlet Spider, through the first 5 issues, how the series has been going thus far. And let's look at some of the financial aspects to this. Now, according to my Power Glove, yes, carry the 1. Alright, and that equals, yes. This has been doing very well. This has went through 3 printings. The second issue has went through at least 2, and I'm pretty sure the third one has went through a second printing as well. And according to my calculations, the book has been a financial success. It's been doing well. So cancellation is yes, exactly. According to this glove, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen soon, but maybe in the future. Hopefully it doesn't. But anyway, Scarlet Spider, number 1. Let me take you through this issue. Now, Scarlet Spider number 1, this is an introduction to the character. And for those of you who don't know, and you're pro-line buddy, this comes directly from you're reading Amazing Spider-Man right now, and I know you got a new pickup. This is kind of a spin-off. This comes from like the Clone Saga, which you're getting into right there in your pickup from the Amazing Spider-Man. Now, there were 3 clones in the Clone Saga. There was Ben Reilly, who died, Kane, who was like the failed clone, and then there was Spider-Side, and I don't want to get into that, but this is the result from the Clone Saga. Now, Kane used to be a murderer, pretty much. He was a failed clone. He was insane, and he murdered lots of people. But now, after Spider Island, he got cured of his scars, and his mind cleared up, and he's healed. And this is telling his story after Spider Island. This picks up Spider Island. This is telling Kane's story. And this is his suit. Now, the first issue, first off, the artwork is absolutely amazing. Ryan Stegman does the artwork for the first 4 issues, and the first 4 issues are all breathtaking. The artwork itself is just awesome. And, well, the first issue pretty much is an introduction to the character. He's not in his costume in the first issue, but it's a nice introduction to the character. And the character is someone who, though it's kind of one of the story of like this character, he's done terrible, horrible things. And it's true, he has. He's done terrible things, but the thing about it is that he's more or less struggling to deal with that, and he's not a hero yet, and he's kind of introducing the character in this first issue, what he's done, gives you a little bit of an overview of the Clone Saga right here. Doesn't go into the nitty-gritty details, because if you do that, it's just insane. But the state this is right here, you see, I mean, he's learning how to become a hero, on his way, but see, like, in this first issue, you get an introduction, he cracks like this horrible deal where they're trafficking people, and it disgusts him, and he actually rescues the lady, but in the process of bringing her to the hospital, and this is, well, he's not a hero, folks, he's not Spider-Man. This is where things kind of go away from him, where he's not used to this. Like, right here, he's taking her to the hospital, but yet he's starting a fight with, like, cops and stuff. In addition to this as well, he ends up saving this old lady from getting ran over, but in the process, he ends up cursing her out right there, and the driver, because he's not used to being a hero, he kind of botches it a little bit, gets messed up. Where is it? Right there. There's a picture. He gets really messed up, folks, and so the first issue is a very solid. It's a good, he's over here leaving town too, by the way. The artwork's amazing, the writing's really good, strong characterization, and this does its job for a first issue. It's very solid, it does its job, and it introduces you to the character, who's someone who's like a flawed, he used to be some sort of terrible monster, but he's trying to, now he's trying to make up for it. and Scarlet Spider #2. And this is the second issue. Again, the artwork is amazing. And just show you the money shot right here. Let's just show you where's that money shot I was looking for. Right there. There's a nice page of him in the suit there, just badass. But yeah, this continues after the first issue. Again, a great, amazing story. And here you can see he's kind of flashes back to his past, and he pretty much, what ends up happening here is he ends up changing his mind that, okay, at the end of the story there was some fire dragon trying to kill the girl he rescued and in the hospital, and he finally had the change of heart. And again, he's still not really a hero because he ends up throwing a guy out of the car that he was trying to get the ride from. And as I said before, here she is running for her life, and bam! Scarlet Spider comes crashing in, and he's such a different hero because he's actually fighting, and he's fighting for this girl that he doesn't know. And here's another person that he's struggling to be around. He's struggling for this. Like, he sees this girl, comes to him for comfort, and he just throws her out of the way. Because he like I said, he's someone who's done terrible things, and he's not used to, saving people, like, by any means. And just to show you in this battle, they kind of go through this battle, and to show you how he's different from Spider-Man is that, one thing right here, he's shooting someone with a gun. Spider-Man, Peter Parker would never do that, but his clone Kane would. And in addition to that, I mean, he really is out for blood. But at the last instant, he changes his mind, and, he changes his mind in this one, and, when he changes his mind, you don't get that, but he changes his mind right there. Right here, and he lets him breathe and doesn't kill him. And at the end of this issue, well, almost at the end, he ends up taking that girl hostage. That girl that he saved, he takes her to her place, to his place, so nothing happens to her. And you get a nice little narration here that says that, he's done terrible things, but maybe he doesn't have to be that same guy, the same monster that he was. And so this is the second issue of Scarlet Spider. The second issue is very, very good. Very good. The artwork is amazing, the story's good, and, it's just a very solid issue. Now let's go to issue 3 of the State of the Scarlet Spider address, folks. Yes. Issue 3 kind of deals with the offset here. Well, you get a beginning thing. He's kind of made some few friends, like a doctor and a cop that are in a relationship. Right here. And, the cop ends up having someone come after him, pretty much. And he sets up an assassin's guild to come and get him. They are pretty much going to come and try to kill him. And here's him trying to be a hero again, by the way. And and here he's establishing, in this issue, they're establishing relations. Him with the cop, him with the doctor, and him with like someone at the hotel. He's established this. And again, just look at this artwork, folks. Ryan Stegman does this. It's just amazing, great stuff. And thus, this is again, as you can tell, he's still doing this. He's fighting. You can't. It's like they set up the relationships in this issue. It's very solid the way they do this too. And again, you get another battle scene with Kane fighting one of the Assassin Guild members, right there. And pretty much in this issue, they fight, but he ends up getting away, and Kane tells them that they're gunning for you, pretty much. And again, this is a solid issue. It does a great job of establishing who Kane is. It sets up a bunch of relationships, establishing some characters that are probably going to be ongoing in it. Again, it's another solid issue. It's written by Yost, and the artwork is by Stegman, Ryan Stegman, who's a phenomenal job. This is another solid issue. And then issue 4, which is probably my personal favorite in the series thus far. There's only 5. And in this issue, it's him versus the Assassin's Guild. Full out versus the Assassin's Guild. And folks, this is where you see the real difference between Spider-Man. How Spider-Man approaches things and him. And Kane. Let me put it this way. Here's what Kane does. He throws the guy off a building. He throws the guy off a building. Spider-Man would never kill someone and try to throw him off a building. Additionally, Here's what he does in this one too. Here's also what he does as well. Something that Spider-Man would like never, I mean ever do. But this here, he kills somebody with a sword, slices him to bits. He slices someone's leg off. See, look at it, right there through the head, right there. Through the head. He also chops this guy's arm with and breaks his arm. And see, this is the difference between Spider-Man and the Scarlet Spider, who's Kane, his clone. Spider-Man would never kill someone. He would never chop someone's limbs off. He would always try to. Kane does not F around, folks. Scarlet Spider, he doesn't. And another difference is that he has no problem taking off his mask and it makes perfect sense because Kane doesn't have a family really, and him taking off his mask doesn't affect anything. You know, he doesn't care. He's like Spider-Man, but he just don't want to F around with this guy because he does not play around. He would just goes after you. And I love in this page too, and love with this thing too. The Assassin's Guild, the assassins have him cornered. Where is it at? No, that's not it. They have him cornered. Well, I'm looking for it, folks. Wait for it. Wait for it. Where is it? Right here, in this panel, like in this page right here. You're not going to be able to see it, folks, but in this panel, you know, he realizes what he's done in the past. That he was a monster. And he acknowledges that, you know, that he's done terrible things. And he has. Trust me, folks. He's killed. And I know I have some of the stories where he's done it. That he's done terrible things, and he knows it. And he acknowledges that what the Assassin's Guild, what these assassins have planned for him, which is death, that he deserves it. He knows he deserves it. But at the same time, he acknowledges that, but at the same time, he realizes that, you know, I'm not gonna, not by these people. I deserve to be punished. I deserve everything that's coming to me, but, you know, not by these villains who are equally as bad as I am, or as I was. And he acknowledges that he deserves to be punished, and that's such great writing because, again, he's trying to start a new life. He's trying to at least not become a monster. I guess trying to atone for his mistakes. But at the same time, he realizes what he used to be, and he realizes what a terrible person that he was, and that he does that anything that happens to him, he deserves it. But at the same time, he realizes that these villains are just as bad as he is, and even though he deserves it, he's not gonna die by these guys' hands. And as you can tell, he like murders people and stuff, and the way he gets off the hook is he promises to do something by them. And this is like by far, and as you can tell how conflicted and how much he's trying to change, he's so repulsed by his past in this that he actually, you know, he actually throws up here. That's Kane. Right there. And issue 4, Scarlet Spider number 4, was my personal favorite out of all the 5 issues that I have thus far. It's well written, the artwork is still great, and this is by far where you get a really great action, and this really illustrates how different Scarlet Spider, Kane the clone of Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is different from, you know, normal Peter Parker Spider-Man. A very solid issue, folks. And issue number 5. Unfortunately, folks, is not drawn by Ryan Stegman, and which I miss. He's a great artist. But the artwork is still pretty solid, though. Not as good, but still solid. But I will admit that the issue is definitely not as good as the previous one, because the fourth one kind of leaves you on a nice little story, and this one is kind of more of a standalone story. You know, you really would need to know like some of the relationships that were established in order to kind of figure out this issue. It's a standalone story, and this one they're trying to track down a nuclear bomb, and Scarlet Spider, he actually can talk to spiders too that tell him where the bomb is, and he just ends up pulling a wire, and it just ends up, you know, that was it. That's all he had to do. He pulled the wires, and the bomb didn't explode. And him and the cop start laughing. But what I really like in this issue is the back and forth between the cop and Scarlet Spider. Like, the cop is, you know, kind of like Peter Parker, really goody-goody. You know, did you really have to, he's like telling Scarlet Spider, do you really have to be this aggressive? Do you really have to? And it's really funny because at the same time, there's one moment in this issue right here that they're shooting at him. they're shooting at him, and they're shooting at Scarlet Spider and the cop that he's teaming up with. And then the cop's shooting, and then Scarlet Spider's like, oh, okay, wait, you could hurt him. You could hurt them. Be careful. And the cop's like, okay, I get it. Enough. I get what you're saying. And in addition to this, this is when he finally they start calling Kane a Scarlet Spider. And, he's still, his connection to Ben Reilly, and, he has respect for him. And he's like, oh my, he doesn't want to be called that. He's like, yo, don't call me that name, please. And even at the end of the issue, don't. So this issue it's solid, but it's definitely not as good as the past 4. So, folks, the State of the Union, or the State of the Union of the Scarlet Spider, for the first 5 issues. Financially, it's been good for Marvel, according to my Power Glove, yes. It's been financially well. Oh, no, don't do this. Yeah, the webcam's kind of acting, but it's been financially well. And, well, folks, the first issue is very solid. The second issue is also very solid. The third issue is fantastic as well. The fourth issue is probably the best so far, in my opinion. It's very solid. And the fifth issue, it can go either way. It can be yes, no, maybe. But if you kind of pick this up before, I know the first 4 issues, or at least some of the issues, like at least 2 issues, you kind of understand more and you'll enjoy this issue a little more, but it's still not as good as these. So, folks, in closing for this address, the State of the Scarlet Spider, 5 issues in, this is one of the only issues that, this and Batman and Robin are the only 2 that I'm actually have subscriptions for. The first, thus far, the Scarlet Spider has been very, very good, folks. It's been very good. You definitely should, check out a few issues and maybe grab, if you can find some of the back issues, some of the older issues like 2 and 1. Seriously pick them up. It's very solid. It's not like a normal, and I know there's a lot of Spider-Man books here, but this is not like a normal Spider-Man book. This is actually, this is its own entity. It's its own difference, its own entity. It's not like Amazing Spider-Man. It's not a tiny. It's connected to Spider-Man, but very loosely. It's not like Spider-Man. It's its own book, its own entity, and it's like a tale of someone who's trying to atone for some of the terrible things that he did in the past, which he was a monster. And folks, yeah, this has been kind of the State of the Scarlet Spider through the first 5 issues. It's, again, folks, it's very solid. This series for the first 5 issues has been very, very good. It's been very good. I mean, that's all I can say. You might want to check out an issue to just, check out an issue or 2. See if you, people have different opinions. But I think you've seen other YouTube people say that this has been great. And I agree with them that the sentiment has been great. So I would, I would highly recommend checking an issue or 2 out. Maybe checking some of the past issues out a little bit too, if you could find them. Checking them out, giving them a nice read. It's a very solid issue. And folks, that has been, I guess, the first review. And I probably am going to do a Batman and Robin, because it's been about 5 or 6 issues too. And so my plan is, for these are the only 2 issues only 2 things, Batman and Robin and Scarlet Spider, that I've been picking up consistently, that I have subscriptions to. And so folks, I'll see you in another 5 issues. Our next one's going to be Batman and Robin. I'm going to see you in another 5 issues of Scarlet Spider to give you the state of the Scarlet Spider, how the next 5 issues are going. But anyone, thanks for watching this review. It is my first. And peace out, folks.